Hello all, welcome back to the GV Reddy Automation channel. Right, continuation of the CTS interview question, mobile interview questions. Right, in previous class we have seen what are the right mobile interview questions on Appium. Right, whoever did not watch, please go and watch those questions. Right, and we will see Java questions. Right, what are the Java questions asked? Right, explain exception handling in Java. Right, we know. Right, what is exception handling? Whenever exception is occurred, it will terminate the normal flow of the execution. Right, by using exception handling, we can continue the program gracefully. Right, whenever there is an issue, I want to terminate the program gracefully. Right, that is called exception handling. Right, main keywords of the exception handling are what? Try, catch, finally, throw, throws. Right, these are the main keywords. Right, try block we will use to write the piece of code which may or may not throw the exception. Catch block is used to handle the exception whenever exception is occurred. Right, finally block will execute always whether exception is occurred or not occurred. Throw keyword is used to throw the exception. Throws keyword is used to intimate the caller function to handle the exception. That means we will write in the declaration of the declaration section. Right, simple example. Right, we will write exception handling public void main, then try and catch finally. Right, here just try block. If you write 10 divided by 0, what will happen? If you divide it by arithmetic action, here it will get. Finally, will always execute. Then, right, that is the what is the exception handling. We can also tell exception hierarchy, right? Throwable is the root class, and under that we have exception and errors. Right, errors we cannot handle like right. And exceptions we can handle. What are the different types of exception? Runtime exception, arithmetic exception, right? Array index out of bounds exception. These right, runtime exception we will have a checked and unchecked. Right, checked and unchecked. Checked exception we need to handle at the rate at the time of writing code. SQL exception, right? Interrupted exception, those things. Right, file not found exception. Runtime exceptions are unchecked exceptions like array index out of bounds exception, right, null pointer index, string index out of bounds exception. Those errors are we cannot handle in the program, right? Like stack overflow, right? Those things we cannot handle. We can also tell those are all. Right, difference between the abstract class and final class. What is an abstract class? Abstract class, right, can have only abstraction. Right, by using abstract class we can achieve the abstraction. That means we can hide the internal implementation, show only necessary details to the user. Right, it will be achievable by abstract classes or interfaces. Right, here abstract class can have abstract and concrete methods. We can write both. Cannot be instantiated. Right, interfaces are abstract classes, we cannot create the object for it. What is the example of it? Public abstract. If you want to create the abstract class, we have to use the keyword abstract before the class. And it can have abstract methods, non-abstract methods. Abstract methods means public abstract, void, something draw, which don't have any implementation. Right, who will implement? Child classes will implement, provide the implementation of. Here default methods are there. Default methods can be overridden or not overridden. What is final class? Right, final we can use at keyword level, method level, class level. Right, if you use class level, what will happen? We cannot subclass it. That means no one can inherit, cannot subclass it. Right, extends class level, we cannot do that. Final classes. If you use at class level, what will happen? Final class. Right, if you use it, we cannot subclass it. If we use it variable level, we cannot modify. If we use it method level, we cannot override it. Right, what are static and non-static members? Static members, right, belongs to the class level, not to the object, right, not to the instance. Can be accessed without creating an object. We can directly access by using the class name. Right, here some example: public static int, right, count equal to 0. We can access. How to access? Directly example dot count. right? Non-static members belongs to the instance of the class, right? Whenever we will create the object, by creating the object we can access the non-static instance variables, right? Here we can create the object and access it. What is method overloading and overriding? Overloading means what? Overloading the means method name will be same but arguments will be different, number of arguments, order of argument, type of arguments, right? Method overloading means. Overriding means, see here, overloading, add method is add same but inside parameters are different, here integer, here double. What is the advantage of overloading? Right, if you overload the methods, what will happen? It's easy to identify method, right? Suppose add method means we can add integer, double, right, like that. Similarly, right, if you add, suppose add int, add float, add double, right, it is very difficult. How many add methods are there? We can write only method name will be same but arguments will be different. It is easy to maintain, remember also, right? Overriding means what? A subclass redefine a method from its superclass. In simple term, what? Overriding the parent class method in the child class is called method overriding. Why we need to override? Right, I did not satisfied with the implementation of the parent. If I am not satisfied with the right implementation of the parent, I can override, modify the implementation. Method name will be same, method signature will be same, but we can change the body, we can change the logic. That is called method overriding. Overriding the parent class method in the child class is called method overriding. Difference between string and string builder, right? String is immutable. That means immutable means what? Whenever we will change the string, it will create, it will not change in the same memory, it will create a every time new object, right? That is called immutability. Suppose if we have a string str equal to hello I am created, it will create the new object. Whenever we try to modify, it will create new object. String is immutable. String buffer is mutable. Mutable means what? We can modify multiple times, it will not create different objects, same object it will change. That means same memory location it will update, right? What is the difference between array and array list? Array is, right, array is used to store the multiple values of same type and fixed size, right? If we create string integer array means we can store only integer, float array means float only, right? Array is a used to store fixed number of values of same type. Array list is a dynamic size, we can store any type of object. I can store integer, I can store float, I can write any object. Array list, if you want to store multiple objects as a single unit, then we will go for a array list, any collection object we can store. It is a dynamic size, if you try to add it will increase automatically, if you decrease it will automatically decrease the size. Can only store objects, that is one thing, right? Array we can store objects or primitive or objects, but array list will not store allow primitive, only object. See, array list of integer, that means only I can add integer only, I cannot write integer objects only. If we remove that generic type, we can add any type, but if you add the generic type, right, it will store only. Right, next question is what is singleton class? Right, singleton class, why we will use? To create the single object anytime. If we create multiple times also object, I want only one time of object, right? At any point of time I want only one object. If we create 1000 times, right, 100 times, 1000 times, I want only single object for that class, right? Right, there are some steps we have to follow to create the singleton class. Ensure only one instance of the class created. We have to create private static variable of the current class, private static variable of the current class, and private constructor. If we create private constructor, then we can restrict, you cannot create object singleton new operator. By using new operator you cannot create. And then we have to create a public static, return the class name, get instance, some method name, right? We will check if instance is null, then create, otherwise return the already existing instance, right? This is the basic singleton class. There is a, right, a lot of ways we can create a more advanced one also. as part of testing, right, up to this is fine. Right, double locked mechanism, right, there are eager loading, lazy loading, right, there are multiple things. This is the basic thing, this is fine. Right, singleton class. Then what is the difference between hash map and tree map? Right, hash map and tree map both are used to store the right key value pairs in a single unit. If I want to store multiple objects as a key value pair in the single unit is called a map. Right, hash map and tree map is right does not maintain the order. Suppose if we maintain the hash map, right, what will happen? Right, it will allow multiple keys and values. Keys cannot be duplicated. Right, keys cannot be duplicated. One null key, hash map will allow one null key, multiple null values. And it does not maintain order. Suppose if I add 1, 2, 3, if we print, it will not print same order, it will print in different order. But tree map, it will also allow key value pairs, but it will be in a sorted order. Right, if we add 1 to right 2, 4, 5, 6, 1 like this, it will print 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It will automatically sort based on the keys. You cannot right, keys cannot be null. If we add null pointer exception will come because internally keys will be compared. That's why it is right, tree map will print in sorted order. Right, that is the difference. What is the multi-threading? Right, multi-threading means if you want to execute right concurrent execution of more than one thread. Right, if you want to, very rare question, very rare question, but still, right, what is a threading? If you know, we can tell I have idea, otherwise we can, I don't have idea, we can tell. Right, threading means if you want to execute multiple threads at a time, right, multiple threads at a time, then we can use thread concepts. How to create thread? By extending the thread class, and there is a run method. Right, by extending a thread class, we have a run method, we have to override abstract method, we have to override it, run method, then create the object, call the start method, then it call run method automatically. When you call start method, run method will call. Right, what is the difference between interface and abstract class? Right, both are used to, right, abstraction means what? Hiding the internal details, showing the necessary details to the user, like ATM. If you go to ATM, we will see only user interface, right, not internal details. Right, similarly, if you want to achieve that functionality like right abstraction, we will go for interface and abstract class. Interface will allow only abstract methods up to Java 8. Until Java 8, it will allow only abstract methods. But after Java 8, it will allow default and static methods also. Default and static methods also from Java 8. Right, how to create interface object? Interface vehicle. Right, we cannot create object of interface. Right, abstract class can have both abstract and non-abstract methods. By using abstract keyword, we can create abstract method. Right, abstract method don't have any implementation. Who will provide implementation? Child classes will. Here also we cannot create object. Both interface and abstract class we cannot create the object. Right, what is the difference between final, finally, finalize? Final is a keyword. Right, final is a keyword. If you use before the variable, what will happen? You cannot change that variable. If you try to change, we will get compilation. Finally means what? We will use finally in the right exception handling. Right, finally will execute anytime, whether exception occur, not occur, it will execute finally. Finalize is a method, right, why we will use it to release the memory. A method called by the garbage collector for the object destruction. That means there are unused objects are there, it will release the memory. Right, there is a finalize method. Whenever this finalize method is called, it will release the unused objects memory. Right, then what is the difference between double equal equal? Right, double equal to will compare memory address. Right, double equal to will compare memory addresses. Right, suppose if I create like this A and B, memory address will be same because it will create in the string constant pool. If you want more detail, just to go to my core Java classes, right, there is a, I have explained in detail what is double equal dot equal difference. Whenever we will create like this, it will create in the string constant pool, it will have both the same memory. That's why a equal to b will be true. If you call a dot equal also true. Double equal will compare memory references. A dot equal will compare always, right, what it will value. It will validate content. Double equal to validate memory addresses. Dot equal to will compare content. Right, here both the content is same. But if we equal here a equal to b, then it will be false, because whenever we will use no, it will create new memory. So a double equal to b, it will be false, but a equal to b true. Here a equal to b true, because content is same. Right, difference between class and interface. What is a class? Right, class is a blueprint. It will contain a methods and variables. Right, class we can create and it will have a methods and variables. It is a blueprint. We can create any number of objects for a class. What is an interface? Interface is a, right, a contract that classes must implement. Right, it is like a what, to achieve the abstraction we will use the interface. Right, interface will have abstract methods. Who will that means contracts, that means without body, it will provide a contact. Whoever provide, suppose I want to create a car by using this vehicle, right, vehicle interface, I can create a car by implementing start method. Right, class and interface. What is a constructor overloading? Right, constructor overloading like a method overloading. Constructor overloading occurs when class has multiple constructor with parameters. Right, this is constructor how to create by using class name. Right, you can pass one argument constructor, two arguments default constructor. Right, this is called method. Here constructor name will be same, arguments will be different. Right, this is called constructor overloading, like a similar to method overloading only. Difference between synchronization and asynchronization execution. Right, here, right, this is also related to threading concept only. Synchronization execution, what, suppose I have these two lines, it will execute one by one. Right, one by one. It is called synchronization execution. Asynchronous means what? If I want to execute the right two tasks separately, separately parallel. Right, I want to execute two tasks parallelly. That is called asynchronous. We can achieve by using thread. Right, by using thread. This is some example of it. Right, by using a thread, we can achieve asynchronous. Right, what is reflection? These are all little bit advanced topics. Sometimes we will expect these questions also. What is a reflection? Reflection is a mechanism to inspect or modify runtime behavior of the class methods fields. Right, a reflection is a mechanism to inspect the, if I want to change the behavior of a class methods fields, right, we will use reflection. Right, here, see, suppose I want to get the all the methods, right, all the methods of the array list class. Right, array list class. How you will print? You don't know, right? By using array list, it has a add method, delete method, right? There are a lot of methods are there in array list. But how you will print those? By using reflection. See, class.forName, java.util.arraylist. We will get the class. From the class, we will get a get methods, all the methods. We can iterate one by one method, get the method name. Right, by using reflection, we can write behavior. We can access the methods of a class, fields of a class. We can change the behavior of the class also. Right, that is a reflection. Right, what is stream in Java? Right, streams are introduced from Java 8. Is used for functional style of programming. Functional style of programming. If you want to achieve it, right, we can use the streams. That means by using streams, we can reduce the code and we can do the faster way. Right, but we have to remember those syntaxes, right? Not that easy, but we have to remember. Right, suppose I have a list. Suppose this is the condition. I want to iterate list and print only, right, print only numbers which are divided by 2. which are divided by 2. Right, that is how we will iterate normally. List we will iterate, right? For loop we will write, and if condition we will write. If it is divided, we can print. But by using stream, within a single line we can write it. Numbers dot stream, we are getting the stream object, and filter, right? Here lambda expression, right? Functional programming means we have to use the lambda expression, right? N means one by one. Suppose one is first one will come, two will come, three will come, four will come, right? First one will come 1 percentile 2 equal to 0 now, right? Then it will come next 2 percentile 2 0, yes, it will print 2, right? Just it will filter it will divide and filter which are divided by 2. Then for each it will print, right? For each system colon out colon println, right? Within a single line we can do the action streams. Streams are like a functional programming. What are the annotations in Java? Right, in Java there are some default annotations. Annotation provides some metadata about code and used by compilers and frameworks. Right, override method. Right, sometimes we will see if you override parent to child, right, we can write at the right override, so that we will easily identify, okay, it is overridden from the parent method. Then deprecated. Deprecated means what? That means next, suppose this is 1.0 release. In 2.0, what we will do? At the rate deprecated. That means in next release, it will not be available. We are intimating the users. Okay, this will not available in future releases. Deprecated means. Right, and method, on top of the method, we will write at the rate override deprecated. What is the difference between array list and linked list? Both are used to store the multiple values into a single object. But array list is a faster search. Right, dynamic array fast for random access. Array list is we can get the fast access. Linked list, because array list uses dynamic array, because of that we can access elements fastly. Linked list uses double linked list, faster for insertion and deletion. Linked list is faster for insertion and deletion. Right, search is very slow in the linked list, but access wise array list. Linked list is faster for insertion and deletion. Right, what is the volatile keyword? Right, volatile keyword mostly we will use in the threading concept. Actually, volatile keyword ensures that a variable is always read from return to main memory, not from thread logger. Actually, what will happen, right? If you are using the thread, right, multiple threads you have created, each thread will have a separate memory. Each thread will have a separate memory. Now, suppose you have a total. Suppose total equal to 100. Right, total equal to 100. Suppose I want to one thread is updated. Right, your bank account. Suppose if you take a bank account, one person is withdrawing from the, right, you are transferring from the mobile app. One person is online. One person is ATM. Right, same person withdrawing, transferring. Now different threads will create. Suppose you have withdrawn 100, that means it should update, right, in the main memory. Right, main balance it should update. From current thread to main memory it should update. Otherwise what will happen? Second thread also it will take, suppose 5000 is there, you have 100 removed. Again second thread also 5000 only there, you are not updating main memory. Right, then there is a issue. To avoid that issue, we will use volatile keyword. Volatile keyword, what will happen? Ensures that variable is always read from main memory, not from the thread logger cache. Right, that is the one thing. Right, we have a programming interview questions. We will discuss in the next class. Yeah, thanks for watching. If you like my way of teaching and presentation, just subscribe to the channel, share to your friends, like, comment. If you have any doubts on any question, please comment it out. We'll explain more.